This was the first time I went back to the Azores, and I knew what I should expect. But still, it's a pretty place, and everyone who went there told me the same. It's not that I know a lot of people who go to the Azores, because it's almost out of reach. Because, for me, at least, who goes there from Budapest, it's at least 2 or 3 planes at most. It doesn't seem like a lot. Unfortunately, there is only one plane going to Terceira, the island I was going to from Lisbon, so I have to go there a day earlier, making it a 2-day trip there and another 2 days to come back to Budapest. Oh, where was I? Oh, yes, I remember now. So it was weird meeting my friends there, because they lived there, they had lived there all their lives. They know this, but I didn't. So for them, it was sort of like an interesting joyride, seeing my face every time I saw a cow, looked at a beautiful beach, the rocks and the mountains and everything else. It was fantastic, and it must have been fun, mostly because they told me that it was fun for them. And so, yeah, well, okay, so let's dial back a bit. My first impression of the island was meeting my friends, saying hello, but I knew them already, so that wasn't interesting in that sort of new experience way. What was new for me is that we got into the car and drove, and it seemed like that pretty quickly we reached Angra, the city they live, and the city I was staying at in the hotel. So I told them that, wow, this was pretty fast. And they said, well, not for them. It was a long way, because they live in a small island, and the distance for them is quite different. During the making of this video, I found a couple of interesting facts from the Azores. 10, actually. So, for fun, let's hear the first 5, and then continue with the rest later. Because that's how we roll.
1. While the islands were first colonized by the Portuguese in 1432, the Atlantic Islands had been the stuff of many fearsome and alluring legends for centuries before. Even Pliny and Plato wrote about mysterious Atlantic islands, Atlantis, over 2,000 years ago. 2. Christopher Columbus stopped for a breather on the islands in 1493. On his way home from America, he was mistaken for a pirate and promptly taken prisoner. 3. The 9 Azorian Islands are spread across a distance of 600 kilometers, 375 miles. This vast area of ocean is solely responsible for Portugal having Europe's third largest economic trading area. 4. The Azores are home to Portugal's highest point. Mount Pico on Pico Island peaks at an impressive 2,351 meters. 5. Unlike many remote island groups, the Azorean gene pool is very well mixed thanks to a diverse influx of people over many centuries. These have included settlers, merchants, sailors, prisoners and slaves.
We have caves in Hungary. Actually, our cave at a place called Oktelek is one of the largest dripstone caves in the world. Still, for me, these basalt caves are quite interesting, since there is nothing like this in Hungary.
Isso não é a primeira vez que me acontece. Isto tem não sei quantos tem quilómetros. Não, não é esta que tem quilómetros, não, Rui, não. É isso, é a gruta dos balcões. Que dá uma bruta volta. É. Esta aqui não tem quilómetros.
Okay, I forgot where I was. Right, yeah, okay. And that made me think, because when I get into my car in Hungary and I drive for about 2 hours, I can be out of the country, but most of the time if I go east or to the west, I am still in the country, and it's rare that I make that trip. But lately, I've been traveling a lot, by car and by plane and all that, and so distances seem to shrink for me. But I guess the opposite is true, that distance can be perceived as a lot, while in reality it's just a tiny island. I noticed it on myself as well, because on the third day, even on my first trip, I felt it. We went to a lot of places, but really no. We drove like maybe 50-60 kilometers. It seemed especially a lot this time. I felt that if I have to cross the island again, that would be, oh my god, such a trip. While in reality it's about 15 to 20 kilometers. That is, I think, my great first impression of the island. For me, an active volcano is kind of a scary thought. Mostly because in Hungary we have no volcanoes. We have nothing to be afraid of. The weather in the Azores is so changeable. On one part of the island, I felt I was almost cooked through and through, and then 10 minutes later, I went to the other part of the island, and it was raining, and it was cold and foggy. So as I promised before, you must have forgotten, if you're surprised now, but I found a couple of facts about the Azores. So here's the last 5, for fun.
6. Mark Twain wrote of the Azores in 1877. I think the Azores must be very little known in America. Out of our whole ship's company there was not a solitary individual who knew anything whatever about them. How many people know much more about these islands today? 7. The Azores did hit the news in early 2003 as the staging point for the international summit that saw the go-ahead given for the Iraq War. In attendance were George Bush, Tony Blair, Spanish Prime Minister José Aznar of Spain and Prime Minister of Portugal José Barroso. 8. The Azores sit on the edge of several tectonic plates, although there has been little volcanic activity in recent years, and most recorded earthquakes have been minor. 9. The island of São Miguel is home to the only 2 tea plantations in Europe. Visitors can tour the facilities at Gorina and Porto Formoso and enjoy a taste of the produce in their tea rooms. 10. Football fans may want to combine a visit to the island with a game at the local team Santa Clara. Despite being a couple of hours' flight from Lisbon, the team has competed at the highest level in Portugal, and several international players have played here in their early years, most notably Pauleta, Portugal's all-time leading scorer.
What was I talking about again? It was something that came with thing and stuff and what. Right, okay, yeah. It's quite interesting because I could have told you about all the different things like the volcanoes, the beaches, the museums and whatnot, but I'm mainly interested in impressions like that and how people live. And frankly, I read a little bit about the Azores before I went there, but I did not find anything that was shocking. But when I went there and I saw how people live, that was way more interesting. It's not like I didn't expect anything. To me it was all new, and I don't think that you can read about all this in books. And even though I'm telling you some stuff about the Azores, it's not enough. You have to experience it yourself. You see the videos, you hear the explanations, but that's it. That's all you have. It's not the big picture. These are just words. If I tell you that they are nice people and patient and they didn't kill me when I was there, it's something. Even though there's a big difference between what I had known before I went there, both the first time and the second time, and now that I've been there 2 times, I can tell you very little about it. But still, it makes me go back to the Azores, and I can try to explain it. It's not just that it's beautiful, it's not just that, for instance, I have only been on 1 island out of the 9, but it's not that. It's not just that my friends are there, and every time I go there I seem to make new friends, and these people are fantastic. Something that I cannot explain just draws me there. It attracts me.
Hello. You okay? Hope you are. I think you should go that way. Not this way, no. Hello.
Yes, cows. Of course, we have come to this. It's inevitable that at some point I talk about cows. There isn't much to talk about cows actually at this point. I have just seen so many. It's the land of the cow. Seriously. Every time I go out, or technically every time I went out during my stay, I saw cows. No exceptions. Whether they mowed the grass on a field or going home causing traffic problems, I saw cows. We have no sea or ocean in Hungary, so you can imagine that for me the sea is the ultimate excitement. So I can just stand there on the shore and think about life and whatnot, especially because I can't experience it anytime I want to. And I hear that even people who live there sometimes go out and contemplate life on the seashore. So I guess the sea is the universal philosophical place or something. Well, it's that thing that I was mentioning with the stuff and the things with the cows and the pigs and the what okay, got it. Everything that I have seen so far, both the landscape and the people and the food, it's something that I want to experience over and over again. And so I guess that I have to maybe talk about why I have made this film, and I don't know. Like I told you before, I can't really give you the experience I had, or I have still. You have to go there in order to experience it, in order to find out everything about the island, and it will probably be a very different experience for you. I guess the only reason I made this, because the Azores is not a touristic destination. There are some tourists arriving on luxury cruise ships, but that's about all. Maybe a couple of Americans or Canadians I saw during my trip, but that's about it. Not many people, and I certainly don't want tourists to go there. It's not for them. It's for people who love traveling, travelers who wish to experience the culture and immerse themselves in it, and not people who just want to go to the local Burger King. Wow, am I still talking about things and what and right? And so I was saying that it was very interesting and thing, and then after that and what, right? And now I want to tell you that okay, although there is a Burger King there, I really wanted to go there, but I forgot, to be honest. There are so many things that I wanted to look at, and it was so low on my list that I just couldn't get around. Maybe next time. Even the locals don't really know why they have a Burger King. It's kind of strange. It's I guess it's a test. Maybe it will thrive. Maybe it's for young people, but maybe it will die out eventually. Just